I can demo now. Okay, great. So I should be showing off an Omni dashboard, demo dashboard. This dashboard is on Playground, uh, and all the changes you're going to see today are live in the app. So any customers who have the new color settings or color schemes feature flag will be able to access all these features. So this is a dashboard where I've created a bunch of visualizations using the default color schemes and then show off some of the different functionality. So this here is just a basic chart. I created a chart. I didn't apply any colors of any kind. In that case, it takes just a blue as its default. In this case, I've said, I want to apply the default colors for discrete data. In this case, I have a chart that is using the default colors for continuous data. And so continuous data, it'll use a color palette that looks like this, like it's a nice gradient. For discrete, it's individual colors for each data point. Here I just have a map with showing off the continuous data again, and then a heat map as well. I've added these different chart types just to show that all the new color scheming should ideally work on every single chart type that we have. And so yeah, these are all defaults. So let's go into our color palette settings here where we have our different palettes. We have our discrete palettes and our continuous. Let's change our palette, our discrete palette to dog, and let's change our continuous palette to free. So I've now updated my defaults from the Omni, which is the built-in default, and Blues, which is the built-in default, to these new ones. I'm going to come back. I'm going to reload my dashboard. And just like that, we now have our new custom color palettes applying to our dashboard. If we come in here and if we go back to the color settings and we decide that we want to edit one of these palettes, so let's edit dog. Let's make it a little bit nicer. It got bumped down, but you can see there's some new colors in here. Let's reload this dashboard again, and we should see that now we got those new colors in our visualizations. In addition to setting the default palette as a custom one, like all these ones up here or this one, we can also set our defaults as built-in palettes as well. So something that we provide out of the box. So in this case, pastel 1 is now going to be our discrete default. You can reload. You'll see your charts using that color palette. But let's set it back to dog really quick. And then I want to show off that we can download and schedule with all of these custom color palettes applied to our visualizations. So I'm going to give it a second. It has to do a bunch of different charts. It's going to work. There we go. Okay, so we got our new dashboard. And you can see, great, we downloaded. We got all of our custom color schemes in our download, our continuous schemes, and our discrete schemes. And the last thing I want to show off here is what the experience is like when you're making new charts and visualizations once you have these default palettes set. So let's make a new visualization. Let's do products. We'll do brand, products count by brand. Pretty simple data. Let's open up a chart here. Let's change the limit so you can actually see what's going on. So you can see that it picks a new default color. Originally that was that blue, but now the first color, the default color it picks is the very first color of your default palette. So in this case, that's dog. So it's going to pick this color here. If we want to get a better look at that, we can open up the options and see that the left axis is colored with that first color of your default palette. Once we start to apply colors to the chart, so let's say we want to explicitly apply colors to brand, now it's going to pull in the rest of your palette. And this will apply as you switch to different chart types, which maybe this data is not suitable for different chart types. I was thinking. Yeah, so anyways, we have some other chart types that it can apply to, but yeah, I'll look into some of this stuff if maybe there's a bug here. And then same thing for if we switch to the other, we switch to the measure, it's going to apply the continuous palette. If we come in here, you'll see that this is currently the default palette, but it's not explicitly applied. So let's say I want to set my palette explicitly as the Freedom palette. So I'll click free. Now this viz is locked to this palette. So if I come and I change to something else like greens, and then I reload this this viz, it's no longer going to change, which is slightly different than the behavior I showed off before, where it'll always update to the default. But if you explicitly apply it, it'll stick to that palette. Yeah, so all this.
Gustav, what happens for existing visualizations? Do they have existing palettes applied, or are they all kind of floating right now?
Yeah, unless someone explicitly applied a color palette to it, all existing viz will update to the new default.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just
Yeah, so like you know, if you're making changes on like on the app or whatever with this, just be wary. There's probably a lot of vizzes that are going to suddenly change their colors.
Yeah.
But you do have this escape hatch of being able to come in and select it, and it'll be sticky from that point on through default changes. And I think that.
Wait, one more pedantic question.
Okay.
Is it stuck to the name or is it stuck to the palette?
It's stuck to the palette. So like if I actually let's go back to the dashboard really quick. Oh geez, my documents, demo dash.
I think it's stuck to the name, like the named.
Yeah, so but I can change
the
whatever dog bone.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't really mean the name. I mean the object, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So if you change the colors in that named palette, those will change on the viz.
Yeah, so
because
like
it's attached to the palette.
Yeah, so like lock to free, we change it from blue to green, it will move. If we move the default, it would still stay with free, blue to green.
Yeah, so now if we reload this, like, let's set this as the default. Yeah, now all these charts are going to have those new colors as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and you cannot delete a palette that is a default. It's not going to appear in the UI, and it also is blocked by the backend. So, yeah, you shouldn't be able
to. What happens if you delete a palette that's not the default and things are set to it?
That's a good question.
I think they take the default. They like
makes sense.
Put over to the default.
Yeah, I'll need to double check and confirm that. But that's the expected behavior.
Sorry, I'm just beating up ridiculous questions here. If someone wanted to set a different palette on a per customer basis, do we feel like we have a good route for people that want to do stuff like that?
I would say the way I would think about that is integrating palettes into themes, like the themes that we have, and then the theme is dynamic and can be dynamically applied per customer, or would be able to in the
theory. It seems like the next request that is coming is exactly that. Like, I am putting out a thing for my universities, and like I want Duke to have blue and white, and I want UVA to have like black and orange or whatever.
Yeah, so we'd probably do that somewhere in here.
Cool.
Default palette within a theme, but if you've overridden, if you've like moved away from the default on anything, it's going to be sticky. But if it's default, it's dynamic, and
yeah, so there's a few wrinkles here. We're also going to add some warnings. So like, you know, if you edit a palette, we want to maybe show a warning, like editing this will update viz, deleting this will update viz, like things like that. So like this is really easy to do right now. We'll just make it like provide some additional warnings around how this can impact your instance. Yeah, that's about it. I think that kind of covers, you know, the kind of original scope of this project for Flyer. There's going to be follow-ons like what we just talked about with, you know, per customer color palettes. But as far as what we want to deliver for them by October 7th, this should cover that.